Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unlimited Railworks. That is Gamesline's anime podcast. I am your host, Rose, and we are here for a short one this week, just, getting it in there, talking about some of the anime we've been watching this season. I'm a little behind, but we'll get there eventually. We have, with us, as always, we have John.
Hello, I'm here, and I'm holding a big-ass book.
Yeah, you got some crazy books today.
That's right. I did. We could talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. We also have Maverick over there, who's a VIP now. In the wake of all his crazy interviewing, he's gained a press pass. He's going to show it to everyone and just, start demeaning people somehow. I don't know.
I'm going to be the most insufferable man in the Javits Center.
Does you see this badge? You see my brown dust lanyard?
You see my imprints on the bench.
For context for the listener, I showed Maverick, because he did not really know much about Brown Dust 2, an infamous image from Brown Dust 2 where they show the ass print of one of the anime women on a sauna bench, and it also has it has a lot there. It doesn't just have an ass print.
Ass print and others.
And others. Viewer's choice. Look at your leisure. Maybe don't, but just it's fascinating. They're really doing stuff out there. And I look forward to hearing whatever the hell you do at that damn convention this week.
I'll see. I already
some sort of silly stuff.
I already went over to as of the recording. This is Thursday. So I went over to get my badge. I decided, hey, a friend already asked, can I get something from this particular artist? I don't even remember which artist. I kind of was just like, oh, you need this? Cool. I'm heading over there. Picked it up. Already said hello to Steve Yurko, and I guess also have found out that his partner is friends with the friend I got the stuff from. So I have a reason to go back and be like, hello. As I expected, our circles are intertwined through at least one thread.
Do you want to know something else really crazy?
John, how are you connected to these people?
I used to hang out with Steve Yurko's partner back in Florida, so yeah.
Oh, they're a Florida. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
For additional context, through no actual intent, I have somehow come around to knowing a lot of the people that John knew from Florida because they all came over to New York.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy small world. I feel like this happens consistently with me, if not in those situations, and just broader online things of wait a minute, this person? It's always insane.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it definitely happens, but it's kind of just showing up to a place, and at this point it's a 10-20% chance I'm all right, I'm gonna know at least a handful of people because they know people I already know.
Mm-hmm.
6 Degrees of Maverick Gamesline is the game for this weekend.
Yeah, now that you've connected with frickin', you have 1 degree of separation from every single VTuber now.
Oh yeah, now that Yako knows me. I did see one of those big screens when I was walking through of a VTuber doing a quick Q&A with somebody.
Those are crazy. When I saw when I think of those, I honestly just think of that one room Wheels posted forever ago from Anime Expo 3 years ago. Do you remember where it was just that scary foggy room and you just walk through and there's just VTubers on the screen saying things?
Oh my God.
It's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare.
That's scary. But they have to pioneer ways of doing this, right? It's
yeah. Again, I walk in to the exhibit hall because now I will say I'm not familiar with how Anime NYC does their con layout, the one time 6 years ago I went to Comic-Con, it was like, here's all of the top floor that's just like exhibitors and like full on like retail stuff. And then the bottom floor is all Artist Alley. Here, they've put up exhibitions and Artist Alley on the same floor, which, saves me a trip of just not having to go up and down. I think the bottom floor does some sort of like, I think that's where like the games and stuff are going to be. And so, check that out, check what that looks like. But yeah, I'm going to figure out how to spend, a majority of my time there tomorrow. Saturday, I have to be in the whole other side of Brooklyn for other matters that do not relate to anime. Well, yeah, a little bit, but more so it's related to my day job. And then Sunday, I might just do another like final roundup.
Sure. So I did read, though, that it smells heavily of popcorn for some reason.
There is so much fucking popcorn in there, bro. Like, when I was just getting wafts of it.
Does a big popcorn take over? What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I didn't see, like, all the booths or, like, the food stalls, but I would assume it's, like... Well, because I've been to the Javits Center for the, American Kennel Club Meet the Breeds event. Different situation. You get to see a lot of dogs there. It's a really good event. Usually happens late January. I definitely shout it out. And have also been there for other food-based events, helping out one time at the summer food, was it Summer Food Festival? I don't Big whole roundup of stuff. I got to like take home some free goat cheese from people that were just like pawning stuff off. Ooh. No immediate heavy smells there, even though that was like a strictly food-based event.
But the popcorn's heavy this year. Yeah.
Popcorn is heavy.
Interesting. It's not a horrible smell, but still, yeah. I mean, I think if you're just like sitting there and like, especially like for the folks in the Artist Alley and shit, maybe they're just like, yeah, I don't want my prints smelling like popcorn. I understand that, I guess.
I don't know. I noticed it. If it's like that tomorrow still, I'm going to have to like take a minute in the press room and just be away from it.
Okay.
This is going to launch like way after the con's over, but I mean, I'll probably post it in the Discord, and I guess I can make my Twitter one of those going to.
Yeah,
so there you go. Yeah.
I can be trendy.
You put a little emoji of a popcorn box.
Pop it into Anime NYC.
Popcorn, arrow emoji, Anime NYC.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But if you see me there and, you want to say hi, I mean, I'm chilling. I'm hanging out. I will technically be doing work, both for Gamesline and my day job. This is so stupid, man. No, like...
It's what it's all about.
It's what it's all about. I am actually excited to do, like, some level of writing based on, what I see out there. I think... The big thing, too, where, John and I both going to Otakon, more like a vacation level, getting to see how that was like. I'm curious to see how this goes, just in terms of, like, having the convention space, but not it being, like, the same atmosphere fully of, like, a hotel con.
Mm-hmm.
And then if, I get to do any interviews or just, like, check in with folks.
Yeah. I mean, don't stress it too much, but at the same time, yeah, we'd love to hear some stuff that you can get in on if you can, and yeah.
So I was trying to really think of some sort of slick transition. You want to hear about something anime? I don't know. Anime, NYC, anime, not yet
complete.
Because the season's still going.
Yes.
Thank you. There we go. Yeah, and that's what we're getting into this time around, because the summer season is, 3/4 of the way through, probably right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just about. I have not been watching that much. I'm behind on some things. Like I have still only watched like 3 episodes of Panty and Stalking. I have only done samplers of a few series. I did want to say I on Elvie's recommendation, like I listened to her last time. I watched that Silent Witch anime. Really good, really fun series. I think she's right that it really works really well because it isn't a romance, and I think that it has a lot of fun fantasy ideas, even if it would be considered some sort of power scaling ass show. It's not that bad about it because it takes everything so quaintly and nice. Everyone loves the Bochi archetype of girl, and that show has one for sure. Elvie didn't mention this, but there's this part that I really like where in the first 2 episodes, they just, every time she thinks of her coworker who's forcing her to do the thing she's doing in the show, it just uses this cut of him doing Alucard shit from like from Hellsing. So it just does this one cut. It just replays this one cut of him lifting his like gloved hands on fire into the air and laughing evilly. And then it's like every time you see that guy in the show, he's hanging out and talking about his wife.
I thought you were gonna say Alucard from Symphony of the Night, and I was like, is he just like backdashing a bunch or something? Like,
yeah, he's just back. No, I mean like Hellsing, like he has like the glasses with the glare and everything.
Of course.
He's like, ah. It was a really good bit. I really liked it.
That is a good bit.
It's the same cut every time.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
Yeah. But the only show that I'll talk about some other ones that I started recently later, but I want to say I've been continuing to watch There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless. And that's a great show. It's really good. I said last time when I was talking about it that it's like we are in the new generation of Yuri stuff where we don't have to dance around the concept of it being inherently wrong for girls to date so they can focus on way more insane things. And I think this show just continues to do that by just like the current arc is basically there was a girl. The gamer girl main character. Mm-hmm. She started dating, in quotation marks, sort of, the blonde girl. And that was like what the first 4 episodes were about. But then the blonde girl's childhood friend who has a crush on the blonde girl, like then does this like crazy evil maneuvering to basically like guilt the gamer girl into being her girlfriend so that she can do like an epic own on the blonde girl. And it's just like, it sounds so like normal romance things, but they're so insane about everything. There's just like this angle of like the childhood friend is like Virgil, basically. You know how there was the Virgil girl in Hattori Bochi?
Yeah.
Who was just like, I don't need friends. I just need power. That's what she's like. But about like lesing out. I don't know how better to put it. So it's just like, she's like, no, I can do it better, whatever. And then it's just like those two fighting just creates a really great dynamic. I highly recommend the show if you like Yuri stuff. It's so fucking funny. Honestly, even if you don't like Yuri stuff and you just want to see like a funny romance show, it's really good. It's really, because I think it has like a genuine tone to it that's not pure jokes. Like it does really get into these people's feelings and like what they're doing about it. And I really like especially how they have like, you know, consequences for actions and they fight with each other. Like, there's a part in the 4th episode, I think, when the blonde girl and the main character get in a fight basically because the blonde girl tried to like put the moves on her and then her sister walked in and like saw it and she was just like, cool, like you made me look insane in front of my sister, this is the worst thing ever, and she just got mad at her. And it's like such a reasonable reaction, whereas like I feel like in any other show that would be jokes, you know? And it's like instead they actually like argued about it and figured out like how to deal with that. It's just a great show. I'm really enjoying it. I think like as someone who gets burned by a lot of romance shows, I know I have some biases here with it being like a lesbian harem show, but it's interesting. It's really a fun watch every week. I think especially just like the voice actors are really giving them all. It feels like 100 Girlfriends, but like way more normal.
Okay.
Like like it has that same level of absurdity in terms of how the characters are interacting, but it's not like all the way into levels of, you know, the jokiness that show is. Those are both shows that have a lot of sincerity to them, and I think having sincerity while being like over the top is a really great combination.
Good to hear.
But yeah, have y'all been watching Panty and Stocking? Since I said I'm not caught up on it yet.
I have been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How's it going? Were you? I saw they have the Angels guys.
That was the last episode I watched, so I'm like one episode behind.
Okay.
Yes, the boys have arrived. I'm all caught up. The boys continue to be there in the episode afterwards. In the latest episode, they all have a boys' trip because Garter Belt and Briefs are sick and tired of getting bossed around by Panty Stocking and also Scanty and Knee Socks because if you haven't watched any of it, they have basically just caught everything up in the interim. They were just like, all right, the first episode coming back was them just like squashing everything that was happening at the end of the last season, and now they're just back at it basically. But yeah, so the boys were just like, all right, we're sick of this. We're going to Vegas because Garter Belt's just like, I want to go win a bunch of money at Vegas and blow it all at a strip club. And Brief is just like, all right, yeah, that's your dream. I will go with you. And then on the way, they run into the Angel Boys, which are polyurethane and polyester. And they're just like, oh, we're off, so we're not your enemies today because we're off the clock. So we'll go to Vegas with you. And then they do. They just go to Vegas and have a bunch of adventures, and they piss on the side of the road a lot. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to Vegas.
Yeah. They just have a boys' trip. It's pretty good. The other part of that episode, though, they they do a prison football team thing. Like, they do like the longest yard bit for some reason. That episode has insanely good animation, like some of the best animation I've seen on the show, which is saying a lot. It's gorgeous. Like, if you're gonna watch any specific part of the new season of Panty and Stocking, that would absolutely be the part, just to see that animation like that. And also I would say the episode before, because the actual episode with polyester and polyurethane was also very well animated and had a lot of really cool moments too. So it's great. It is so exciting to just be like, hey, they brought Panty and Stocking back. They touched up the few things that did not age well in the old show, and it's still pretty funny and really well animated and just fun to watch. Like, they did it. They did it. It's like, all right, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, this best case scenario kind of stuff is what I would say for sure. Maverick, how are you feeling about it?
No, yeah, I dug the last episode that introduced polyester and polyurethane. I think I was talking about it with a few friends the other day, where they got upset at the fact that they're watching the dub, and throughout the dub, polyester and polyurethane are very Gen Z coded, where the slang that they use, the way that they talk, my friend said that they sounded like TikTok influencers, and that is the best way, I think, to introduce these kinds of characters. As I love the bit that they are just like, oh no, when work's done, we don't do this. Like, this isn't our life.
Yeah, I can totally get where some of it is a little okay, but I thought it fit the kind of character that they're, because they're trying to be young, annoying shitheads coming in on their turf. When Panty and Stocking were already, earlier trying to be the young shitheads showing up and causing trouble, and now it's okay, now we have the even younger shitheads showing up and causing trouble, and yeah, I think that's the right way to do it, and yeah, I get that you know, these days being inundated with like Gen Z slang, it's like, okay, yeah, like for a lot of us, it's just like, all right, yeah, this is kind of whatever. But like, I think it's
no.
I think
Again, like it fits, and I think they do it in a way where it makes sense. It works. It doesn't feel out of place because every time that like, you know, them when they're gonna like lose, they're just like, oh, we're so cooked, like. That's somebody doing enough research to be like, okay, this is how they would sound.
Yeah.
And if it does sound a little fake, that works because, you know, the whole bit is that these are like schemy little shitheads that are like, you know, playing family wise, play second fiddle to Panty and Stocking. But like, it does a good job of showing like this particular kind of a person. And how, you know, even with just a shift in like generational like mannerisms, there is still a core that like makes sense. You understand it, you know, visually, Panty and Stocking having that like Craig McCracken style. This is the best way that you could have gotten to a Rowdy Rough Boys situation. That could also give it like some longevity and like be able to push for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Also, shout out Gunsmith Bitch.
Shout out Gunsmith Bitch. She's so great. She's really fun. I hope she shows up more. She didn't show up in the episode afterwards, but I'm hoping that she shows up at least one or two more times in the rest of the season.
Put her in the episode with the fucking white kid.
God. No, it's really fun. It's just a blast to watch week to week. And you know, music's still really good. The opening and endings, like the new opening is really fun. I really like the new ending. The new ending is like I liked the old ending a whole lot, but the new ending is just really fun and really like just chill vibes. Like it's just nice. Yeah, I love that. I love the new ending. And I mean, just good music in general too. Like the boys theme is a banger. There's like a new theme for their like new transformations because they have like new outfits, which seem to be permanent because they were wearing the new outfits in the new episode too when they transformed. So they've got their new like extra thoughty outfits, you know, which bless. It's good, yeah. It's a good time, yeah. I'm glad that we, you know, went back and rewatched the original, because it is definitely
so you have the immediate context.
Exactly, like I mean, you know, they did a good job, like reminding you of what's happening. So it wasn't, you know, like, oh, I needed to be reminded what went down, but it was more just like, it's nice to have the old one in the back of my brain. So it's like, so I can see how much it improved because it did really improve a lot. And the original was not bad. It just, you know, had its problems and they fixed most of them. Like it's just good.
That's good. It's the best possible solution for a sequel to Panty and Stocking, I guess.
I was gonna say, because I remembered, technically I have an Anime Janai segment, but if we want to talk about, you know, 2 nickels for adaptations of shows that are about 15 years apart that managed to really like strike it home with what the original did, New King of the Hill is also pretty good.
Yeah,
I've heard people say that especially it's much better than the later seasons.
Yes,
of that show.
Yeah, because the later seasons definitely were a lot of just Hank being right. You know, like being like, oh, Hank's got to show up and take care of the problem, and now it's like, no, like it's just about these characters interacting and existing in this world, and it's nice, like. God, Maverick, have you seen the like MRA like Andrew Tate kind of guy episode, because that was like my that was my favorite episode. Yeah, that was my favorite episode of the season. Like I really loved that, like harkening back to old stuff while making it more modern, and also like, you know, tackling something that like very specifically, like, because so many people on Twitter and stuff were like rewatching King of the Hill like over the pandemic and stuff and posting like, this is the kind of like, you know, like father figure, like man you should look up to is Hank Hill. And it's like, you know, like obviously he's got his beliefs and faults and all that, and like that's but also at the same time, like when you compare Hank Hill's like relatively tame conservatism to a lot of conservatism these days, you know, it's a very, very vast difference. And you could like him very explicitly like pushing back against like the Andrew Tate type thought process is it's heartening, and it works, and the context that they put it in is it's really nice. Like I really love that episode.
Yeah, again, he if there's one thing that you can call Hank Hill, he is a hard worker and somebody that understands the value of a job well done.
Mm-hmm.
And that being such a bipartisan, you know, understanding, and obviously that can be something that then gets twisted in a way that leads to, you know, like false concepts of meritocracy, just the idea of like how much is good enough, like all of this other stuff. Simple man that can see like when you're giving it a shot and you're so earnest in what you do, that is the point of endearment. And you know, it works for the kind of it's cool to see him be a barometer for these things that have come up now recently that are just, you know, immediate like smoke and mirrors to try and make someone else feel better.
Yeah. And also older Bobby is really fun. Like he's a great character.
Yeah, no, older Bobby rules. It's really fun to see him like just go through everything and just like, I don't know. I remember those like comics where it's like, oh, Bobby grew up to be like a therapist for like Bart for Bart and Chris, and you know, that spoke to something about him. I'm glad that this leads into something that like is similar, but also, you know, still lets him be at fault at times, and also shows like how exactly, you know, growing up as Hank's son does like shape him as he like leans closer into adulthood.
Yeah, like he's in this very strange place, like, you know, being like a very small like partner in a restaurant that, you know, is that he's you know, doing the day-to-day work and has a lot of pride in it, but also is at the mercy of like someone else's money. It's a very like understandable sort of problem that people would have these days, you know, where it's like, yeah, like even if you're doing something that you have a lot of pride in and you are enjoying a whole lot, there's still, you know, you still have to sometimes answer to somebody who you're just gonna be like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
it's his own Buck Strickland, and I think that is a really
yes
great position to put him in.
Yeah, like it also like separates Bobby a little bit from Hank, where like Hank is, you know, would very much is just so blinded by the idea of someone who owns a propane store that he's just like, oh, Buck Strickland, yeah, okay, I will just listen to his advice, even though he's just saying stupid ass shit, because he's Buck Strickland. He's got to be smart. He's got to know what he's doing because he owns a propane store. But Bobby is, you know, more of a millennial where it's like, all right, yeah, like I can tell when this is bullshit and when this is legit. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I get it because I've dealt with enough people like this in my life. It's interesting. It's so good. It was so good. I'm glad that they're gonna do more for sure. Just really fun, you know, touching back with everybody. They did a great job, like, incorporating all the characters back. Like, you know, Peggy's got, like, a bunch of good scenes and like everyone coming back and all that. Like I'm excited to see, because I'm sure that they'll probably do like some more character focused episodes. They'll be like, oh, here's like a Boomhauer episode, and all that kind of stuff later. But like, I still think that they did a good job bringing everybody back and having them have their moments for sure.
So there's your full classification that King of the Hill is anime.
There you go, yeah.
Because we talked about it in the same breath as Panty and Stocking. That's a real crossover. It's, King of the Hill is the anime of the West, and Panty and Stocking is the Powerpuff Girls of Japan.
Now, I recognize that you both are angels, but could it be possible to not prance around like a couple of trollops?
Trollops?
No, I mean, okay, man, you gotta let them dang old angel and baitings. You gotta let them go on the ghost, man. You gotta let them do that. That ye shall not be guilty, man.
That kind of language is not okay at the dinner table.
Look, Dad, I'm doing my angel transformation.
Whoa, and he's like covering his eyes.
Bobby showing up, young Bobby with his fucking fucking tighty whities, just shaking it out. No animation change. He's just like, yeah.
Yeah, the picture of like that Luann uses, like the starving Irish boy thing where he's like reaching for the cookie. Oh my god. But yeah, Rose, is there something else that you would like to discuss, or maybe something that you want us to talk about? What's going on your end?
Yeah, sure. I'll just talk about my two samplers, because that's like really all I've done. I've watched 2 episodes of each of these shows. One, I watched Turkey, which is the bowling show turned Sengoku Isekai.
They're off the shit.
I wouldn't even say isekai, it's just time traveling. Yeah, they are insane for that. From the 2 episodes I watched, so the first episode is very a straightforward, I would say, dramatic, like girls bowling, girls club. You've seen it before, the Maigo. They're kind of like all like our bowling team will fall apart because you won't take it seriously. Oh no, I'll take it seriously. Whatever, blah blah blah. And at the end of that episode, they just teleport back in time. That second episode is just them kind of chilling in the middle of a war battlefield. And, like, a samurai boy saves them, and then they fucking save him later by using a bowling ball to attack people. And then that second episode
did see
ends
that clip.
Yeah. The second episode ends with them finding someone in the Sengoku era who is bowling, and them being like, "Oh, there was bowling here." So I'm really excited to see where that goes. I haven't seen enough of like the interplay of like how will the bowling work with thing. I did think it was really funny. That show opens with the main character girl going, "Can I tell you an unbelievable story? You really won't believe it, but it really happened to us." Like a fucking like 90s American isekai film or something like that. It was really funny. But I'm interested to see more of that as it goes. I'm curious to see if it's just silly enough or if it's just redoing things. I like all the main girls. I think they're pretty funny. I really like that one girl like just got like really horny for the samurai guy as soon as she saw him. So there's just like, she's just always like walking up going, "Wow, so you're like a samurai, wow." But yeah, I watched that. And then I also watched 2 episodes of Clevatess, which I had heard some people compare favorably to Berserk. And perhaps that is true as it goes on. But I would say after watching the second episode of that show, I would compare it to Berserk derogatory.
Wow.
It has a lot of similarities with very early on Berserk, which I do not think is a good thing. I think early Berserk is pretty rough in terms of his vision and ideas. He was very much still in his edgy era. Because it's like Berserk is inspired by exploitation stuff, and this is very much inspired by exploitation stuff the same way. But I'll just say the first episode is basically this. It's like the main character woman is part of a group of knights sent to basically go to the dark continent, Hunter x Hunter style, to try and expand where humans can live in this world. But the Dark Continent's protected by monsters forever, but they finally like have made weapons that they think can attack the monsters. Her entire unit like dies, and she dies too, to this monster called Clevatess. And then the Clevatess monster basically goes like, hey, I don't want this to fucking happen again, because that like weapon actually hurt me for once. I should go destroy the kingdom. So he just goes across the ocean, goes destroy the kingdom. And as he's destroying it, like this woman basically convinces him like, hey, like humans aren't all bad, I promise. Like, here, look, raise this baby and see that like humans are a product of their environment and not just like genetically evil or whatever. And he goes, okay, I'll do it. So then what he does is he goes back home and he raises the main character woman as like an undead, and is like, help me take care of this baby. And I thought that was like a fun start to be like, all right, it's like they're going to raise this baby, do stuff. The second episode, they're immediately captured by bandits, and then it's just like all sexual assault stuff. And like, they're trying to treat it very sincerely, I think, genuinely, like Berserk does, right? Like Berserk does that. But the problem is they're all cartoon bandits. They're not like, when I think of Berserk, I think they do a great job of displaying like historically how bandits might act or something like that, like capturing the ideas of masculinity and like the power structures in society and stuff like that. And I think Berserk still has struggles with it. But when I think of like Guts, when they explain Guts's backstory, I think they like are doing like a reasonable job of like conveying that like the issues with these people. And in this show, it's like a guy doing flips with knives and going, I'm crazy, I can't see. And it's like, okay, it just really rubbed me the wrong way. I've heard people say that it treats it really seriously and it's good later on, but like I really enjoyed the first episode as like a funny little thing, and then the second episode kind of made me be like, really, like is this just what we're in now? Is just everything like riffing off of exploitation stuff because Goblin Slayer was popular? Maybe, yeah. I don't know, but it bummed me out. But I'm going to check it out more. But I was initially very into the show because I like a degree of edge. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I love like a degree of both serious topics and also just like the idea of like a Chuny style, like, like, oh, they all have like glowing red weapons and they're cool and they're doing flips and they're like, this monster guy is turned into like a little guy with a horn and he's like being all edgy all the time and saying edgy stuff. Like, that's fun. Then it's like, okay, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it like after this arc, it just becomes normal or something. And that's just an opening arc. But it probably didn't help that I watched the English dub, and I thought that the English dub for the first episode was pretty decent. And then the second episode, because of these topics and they're all cartoonish, really comes off as bad, I would say. Because like it's like they're doing like children's show anime voices for really serious topics. That's not what you should be doing. Yeah. No. And it really made me think a lot about dubs in general, how it's like, you can find good dubs for sure, but like they are trapped in this mindset of this is a cartoon. And it's like, but that's not like what it's trapped by in Japan, like still like there are serious adult anime, and it just feels like everyone just does. Like, I would literally rather they sound like fucking Bob's Burgers or something than Jesus, like what they sound like now. I know that sounds insane. I'm just saying, like, like it's like, at least that has like a cadence to the way they talk, and they're not just, I always say, sounding like someone they're trying to make fun of. Yeah. Which is a lot of dub voice acting. Yeah. I'll see it, but I'll see more of it, but I don't know. I was really rubbed the wrong way by that second episode.
You have a lot of like, I think dub voice acting is in this space where there are people that do it well, but there is still the idea of like, I need to do this character and that supersede, or I need to do this voice of the character and this is what it'll sound like, versus what is in a general acting capacity, what are the traits of this character? What are the things that I need to personify? How would he sound? How would this character sound? But, you know, if I'm still keeping this to this, like, sense of personal stake, how do I still, like, evoke some, like, grounded personality?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tenchi, I think about Tenchi in this case where, like, the guy himself, when you listen back, the voice is, like, goofy and awkward, but that feels, you know, inherent to, like, the kind of person that Tenchi is, where so much stuff is happening at him, and his best trait is being able to take that and be like, well, all right, I guess this makes sense. And every other character being able to still present this level of interiority despite being, you know, the playful one, the ditzy one, the jealous friend. There's still more that gets played with because of the overall feeling of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what really separates a good dub voice actor from a not so good one is just the ability to understand how you should be talking instead of just reading it outright. Like, just getting a grasp on, like I think a lot recently, I really liked the English dub voice actor in Honkai Star Rail for a certain character, because he does something that, like, no dub voice actor I can think of, like, does very often, which is when there's dots or hms in the dialogue, he fills with his own noises or, like, little subtle, like, half words or something like that. And it, like, makes such a world of difference in terms of that character talking, that it's like you feel like it comes across way more like, oh, this is a guy, you know, like this is a thing, not just a character who's reading the line. And I really wish more dubs had stuff like that. I think Tales games are pretty good about that. When you look at, like, Tales game dubs as an example, because they have a lot more freeform conversations where they talk over each other and stuff. But I mean, this all comes back to probably the biggest issue is these people are all recording lines completely isolated from each other with barely any context, probably, right? Like,
yeah. No, that's definitely a tough part. And I mean, I don't remember the last thing regarding the state of, you know, recording studio situations, but no, a lot of it is, you know, I'm having the ADR set up, but it's me making sure that I hit these lines and not, again, to my knowledge, it's not really like, oh, we're both going to have you here and you can, like, work off of each other to land these, like, scenes.
Yeah. If only everything could be like Kudelka. I just saw the Kudelka guy talking again about how they recorded everyone doing the lines in the same room, and it's like, like, encouraging them to talk over each other and stuff. It's just, we need better voice direction. We need it so bad. I saw that dire thing from the, I think it's the Nightcrawler actor in the new Marvel movie, where he was saying that they use fake names for the characters so that none of the actors can spoil who's in the movie. It was just like him saying, like, yeah, we're all in, like, isolated green screens and I have to, like, I have no idea what character I'm talking to because they use a fake name. And I was just like, man, what are we doing?
It's not good.
Again, you know, looking back at, like, to bring King of the Hill back into this real quick. It's like, I don't think they're in position where they're all, like, having to use, you know, the same sound space, but, like, there's enough interiority with each character that, sure, sometimes you get just, like, a straight line read, but it, like, you can tell that they're also trying to think about the context, and not to say that dub actors don't, but I think it definitely is a challenge of how do I get this context and make sure that it, like, you know, things match with the actual animation. I think at a point as well where the fan base at large can be very critical in a way that just feels so superfluous. Like Panty and Stocking Dub, what I see of it is so much fun because that is a show that inherently lets itself to just exaggeration and really just letting people like speak these lines out as long as they know this is the general vibe I have to go for.
It's pretty funny that, obviously there's the issues of all the, like, recent Nintendo characters getting recast, but it is pretty funny that the current voice actor for Princess Peach is also playing Panty right now, so Princess Peach is just out there talking about needing to be fucked right now. Like, it's crazy.
Not by Mario, though. Let's make that clear.
Well, the season's not over yet, so we'll see.
But yeah, that's all I've been watching. I need to really catch up on things. I've been watching what I don't even know what I've been watching instead. What have I been watching? Germa? Fucking God. That's what's been going on. All right. You both watched City also.
That's
right. True. I don't know if you're caught up, Maverick, but
no, I only caught up to episode 5, which is still like phenomenal episode.
I'm all caught up. Is episode 5 the layered episode or no?
Yep.
Yeah, that was an achievement. That was wild that they pulled that off. If you haven't seen it, it is an episode where multiple characters are all converging into one area, and so they just have many like small windows across the screen of all the characters doing what they're doing until they eventually get to that area, and they somehow made it not completely unreadable. Like they have all these characters doing things and interacting with each other, and for a good amount of them they're all just like, oh, here's just like a walk cycle until they get to a point where they actually have to do something relevant to the story. But it's still very impressive that it is as readable and as good as it is. It's good. It's good. And I would recommend anybody who cares about animation to watch that episode for sure, because it's nuts. But how about the rest of the show? How are you feeling about it in general, Maverick?
In general, I've been digging it. As somebody that has not watched Nichijou at all yet, like, I don't feel lost. I think it's fun to have all these different, I don't know, I think for me, I definitely am hitting that point where high school as a setting is not like immediately played out, but I have to make sure that whoever's doing the writing of it understands how to actually write young people and not just saying, well, here's a sandbox for a bunch of different things we can do with these basically adult characters in, like, the conceit of you have time where you have to all see each other.
Mm-hmm.
City being something that is much more expansive, I think helps out a lot, not just because of, the breadth of characters, but then you do get to explore more jokes. I think about the episode where the dad, the restaurateur, his whole bit is like, I want to be a regular at this place. I really want to be just like a regular customer at this spot. And then like the day he's going to try and do something cool, the restaurant closes. And like, I don't know, it's just a lot of these small things. Again, like in episode 5 from what I watched, or no, it must have been episode 4, which kind of teased this as well with like the intersection. But like, again, like the group of like guys that are just like, oh, we're going to go celebrate about something. And it's just like, Yeah, no, those are just the neighborhood guys. Like that is like the setup that these guys are going to do. The soccer team doing the whole bit with the Tsuchinoko. It's you also have like the I don't know, the seriousness too of like the going home club president and vice president, where the one with the purple hair doesn't want to tell her girlfriend basically that she's gonna leave, which is real as hell. Also, like I don't know. There's just so much like it's just so vibrant. Like episode 5, I damn near cried just because of how like this. I don't know. It just gets to this idea of like there's so many people that you encounter at one time, and in those moments where everyone is in one place, there is just so much like vibrancy as a result. But that doesn't discredit the individual experiences that each one like person has in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, you see a lot of the like drawing and the like layout. I can tell that as in essence, City does a lot to do, or does a lot in terms of like a diorama aesthetic. You have all these characters, you have all these stories that play through. If you capture like one like photograph of it, that's just one clip into so many other interconnected like situations. I think like Keiichi Aoi does a good job of highlighting that. Mm-hmm. The show does such a good job of making that diorama in motion and like giving the vibrancy to all these stories where you don't feel like you lose anything as a result.
It's nice to have something that is refueling KyoAni more.
That too. It is
based on what they've been talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did come back swinging here. They were just like, oh hey, let's just do something that is incredibly technically impressive and show it off.
Yeah.
And they
I think it's really important to have more stuff like that in the high budget space consistently, because it's just like, if you don't have stuff like that in the high budget space and all you have is stuff like solo leveling, you really dry out the soul of people who are looking to get into that field.
Just like, dry out the soul, period.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like things like Spider-Verse have been great, right? Like I think it's really inspired a lot of like artistic stuff in the CGI space, which had become really stagnant and sort of formulaic. Everything looked the same for DreamWorks. Everything looked the same for Disney, right? Like it's something that like really shaked up the paradigm and made a lot of people be like, oh damn, I want to make something that's crazy like that. And that's something I think City is probably doing right now, because it looks fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think broadly also, I would say most shows I have watched this season specifically, I think this has been the season that it's really stood out to me just how like most anime looks pretty fucking good. Just at a base level compared to like when I watch some older, like 2022 anime or something like that. If I watch like one of the lower budget isekais or something that I would fucking watch, it's like that show today, it looks way better. It's crazy. Like there's crazy artists out there doing great stuff. Let me think. John, do you want to talk about your little books now?
Sure. So I did run to the Kinokuniya like right before we started recording. And I bought some stuff. So one of the things I bought is a I always buy the Type Moon magazines just because I love the art in them, and I'm not like the all up to date on Fate stuff. I will play some stuff here and there. I don't play FGO anymore. But I mean, this whole issue is just about FGO though, because it's like the 10th anniversary. But there's a lot of really great art in there still, because Fate Grand Order has a lot of really great art, so I'm still happy with my purchase. And it's the one thing that's very funny is I had to do a little digging because when I bought it, there was a sticker on the wrapper that said it actually the magazine was 10% off the regular price because it said something along the lines of because of lack of extra item or something like that. It was just like there was something that we just could not feasibly sell with this magazine, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't really tell from the cover. I dug around a little bit to try to figure it out, and apparently in Japan, when you picked this up, you got a like blow up like pool floaty kinda of Mash's shield, and I understand why they were not able to ship that from Japan to America, but also, damn, I really wish I could get that. That would have been really funny to have. But the other thing is, I actually did not have to pay for this, because this was free. And this is actually why I also went because I wanted to get a notebook for journaling and a replacement pen and some other stuff, but like I explicitly went today because there was a promotion going on for Young Magazine, which in Japan is one of the like I don't know if they're very like large these days. They were what like Ghost in the Shell and Initial D were printed in and stuff like that. Like a lot of Clamp stuff was in there as well, like Chobits and Triple X Holic, however you pronounce that. Is it Triple X Holic?
It's just Holic.
Okay, yeah, Holic is in that. But so they said, "Oh hey, we're doing this special thing where we are putting out a big-ass magazine that has 20 chapters in it, and I think 4 of them have already been confirmed to be serialized, because there's, like, a new series by the Initial D author. There's a new... they're doing a sequel series to what's it called? To Boys Run the Riot, which is the manga about a transgender man that is written by a transgender man. So I think that is probably already been confirmed because they, did the whole original story. And some other stuff that's just in here that I guess, but the rest of the stories in here are up for vote, and whichever, I think, like 5 first chapters, or I guess like pitch chapters or pilots or whatever you want to call it, whichever 5 get the most votes are going to be serialized, and they haven't specifically said if they are going to continue to print these. They made a Twitter account for Young Magazine USA, but they're being cagey on being like, oh, we're gonna keep doing this. Like, it could be a digital thing, because they could just be like, oh, hey, this is stuff that's going to be in Young Magazine in Japan, and we're also just, promoting it because it's also going to be coming out in the States too now. I don't know. I would like for them to just keep printing it, because it's really nice that there's just a really high quality, like, nice manga magazine in the States again, like Shonen. They're not doing print Shonen Jump anymore, and it's like, I kind of get it, but also, like, man, it's just really cool to have this, So I've only read the first story, and I think this might be another one of the ones that is already... Is it maybe already accepted? Because it's by the author of Spriggan. So that's another, like, big name guy. And the art in that chapter is fucking phenomenal. It's gorgeous looking. So that I would be down to continue to read this, even though I would say the story hasn't really like grabbed me yet. Like just the art is so gorgeous that I'm okay with that. Yeah, let me see if it says something about it being like confirmed or not. I don't see anything. I mean, I don't see anything about that, but there's not really anything where they're like asking for votes, because all the other ones are like, please vote for us. So I'm guessing that this probably already got confirmed. But it's just a very neat thing. And yeah, this was free. This is like 1,000 pages, and it was free. And so if you live near Kinokuniya, they might still have them by the time you listen to this. And they're apparently also giving them out at Anime NYC. So Maverick, if you could grab one there. They'll definitely have one that you can grab for sure.
I did see someone on the train back with one of those. They are hefty. I'll see if I can get one.
Again, it's just neat to have something like this. Like if they do print these again, like I don't think it's going to be this size again, like because they were very much just like, yeah, we are going to narrow this down to 5, and then I'm guessing they're gonna have like, you know, a couple more that they've already accepted. So I'm guessing it'll just be like those 5 plus the other couple like stories that more tenured authors have already been are doing now. You know, that's a reasonable amount for something that's probably going to be the size of like what those old Shonen Jump issues were back in the day. But they haven't confirmed anything yet, so we'll see. I'm guessing that they're probably waiting to gauge like what kind of response this gets before they make any promises, because they already have a deal for digital distribution for a lot of their stuff, so they won't have to worry about it. If like this flops, they could just be like, all right, just put it all on digital, it's fine. But you know, it's neat. It's just neat to have something like this exist in 2025.
I really liked we already said the day we're recording on, so they had that big interview with the Hollow Knight developers today, and I really liked the stuff they were talking about just doing a bunch of things physically just because they enjoy it more in terms of how they interact with their workflow and stuff like that. And I think it is something that like I really do think we can have both exist simultaneously, like the convenience of digital things and also the niceness of physical interaction way more.
100%. Yeah, like I don't know,
that's
there's like cost and shipping and all that is such a hassle, but like I don't know, you're already putting physical volumes out for this stuff. Like you've got the distribution. I don't know how that all works, but there's got to be a way, you know.
A better world where money isn't being hoarded in a specific location, and instead all prices can be normal.
Look, if we want to, it's one of those things where if you start to think about it too much, it starts boiling down to the issues, and it's just like but yeah, it's the issues. it's the continued issues that continue to haunt us all.
It's the main issue.
Yes.
I think at least in like the subculture end of anime, like, you know, the reason that I think like manga has helped to sort of keep bookstores alive is the fact that like there is something good about a physical express. Manga by design is physically well done. Books by design are a good physical thing to keep up with, but in terms of what is like currently like the popular mode for that, like, you know, get a paperback volume and just sit down, read. Like, it is.
They've never fucked up as bad as comics have, right? Like Western comics, where it's like nobody knows where to start or maintain things. It's you can get away with having these things be physical because they have a clear defined beginning and end almost.
And they're starting to fix it a little bit with Western comics. Like they're doing those small like collections of like big
like
stories.
The Magic one recently and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool. They figured it out finally. They're like, oh, we can do something like manga, and it's working immediately. Like whenever I see any of those like cardboard standees that have those issues in those books in them, they're always empty. People just want to be able to know where to read stuff and have it be all together and not have to worry about like jumping through hoops to keep up with a story.
That's why the Sunday funnies were so easy. Like, it didn't matter which one you picked up. You at least had a general idea for what to expect.
Yeah, like, you take one look at Garfield, you know that motherfucker's gonna be pissed off about Mondays. It's just right there.
Yeah, and then now you have something like, all of Calvin and Hobbes in one book, and that is just a very well done and put together narrative, just for the fact of it being simple enough to follow week to week.
Yeah. Yeah, like I bought like the one of the Fantastic Four, because they're doing Marvel ones. It was DC only for a good while, but Marvel's hopping on it now, and so I got one of the Fantastic Four ones, and I have the one that's all of All-Star Superman, and it's like, yeah, All-Star Superman's great. I haven't gotten around to the Fantastic Four one yet, because I was just finishing up a Hellboy book. But no, great stuff. Bring back physical media. Let's do it. I wanna own things. I want to have things in my hands. Let's do it. I've been sitting here just holding this big ass book this entire time.
Speaking of subcultures, Maverick.
Oh,
you love Dress Up Darling once again.
Yeah, yeah. No, oh my god! Like I forgot that this was in this season. Call of the Night is another one of those shows that I'll eventually be catching up on a little bit more. But I gave 3 episodes of the new season for my Dress Up Darling a shot, and my god, it is just a great progression from what we started with, and I really appreciated seeing what was coming up in the initial series between Martin and, I'm remembering his name, Gojo. Yes. Yeah, Martin and Gojo were, really getting along well, and this just continues on it, and it's even more fun to have characters that are oh, yeah, no, you two are, really good together. And them, well, Gojo denying it from the idea that, this is someone very cool. I'm just glad to be a friend. There's no way that she would look at me in a, romantic way. And Martin just dying constantly because she really wants that to happen, but doesn't want to be the one to, rock the boat in that capacity. It's a clever will they or won't they that also doesn't abstract from, the core of it, which is they get along together really well because of the fact that there is a passion around the things that they really care about. And I think that's a fun dynamic for this kind of, will they, won't they, because it's less when does it happen and more, what are the steps that are going to help them both align on what's ultimately the optimal way to combine all of these different things that they are finding appreciation and just life in. And I was talking about this with John, where the animation for season 2 so far has been so fun.
Yes.
I think after Bocchi, Cloverworks has allowed shows that can be a little bit more how do I want to say this? Because they are a good studio for the most part as well. I can't think of a bad Cloverworks production off the top of my head, But I think, like, the thing that really showcased in Bocchi was them willing to just do stuff for the sake of getting across, like, characterization and getting across the innate feeling of a scene. And that meant that stuff could be a little bit choppier. That meant stuff could be a little off model, or, like, you know, it didn't have to be, the phrase that I'm going for is, like, you know, every scene didn't have to be, like, ready to be a wallpaper, but by really investing in, like, the intricate, like, animations, it feels like there's so much, like, rotoscoping being done, or just, like, a lot of it, like, there's a weight to the way that some characters move in scenes that it's like, oh, wow, you know, I don't care that this looks a little bit, like, tense with the line work, or that this isn't, you know, just a full-on, like, quick snapshot that I can just be, like, excited about. I like that I can see this in motion, and I can feel what's going on in the action. And I hope that that continues to be the case, because, like, not everything is going to be city. How KyoAni is getting to do that, I have zero clue. But I don't mind if more stuff does this. If they know that they have animators that can really, like, give weight to scenes, that can, like, just let the, like, gravity of a moment speak versus having to just let the dialogue, you know, do a lot of that heavy lifting. That's going to be fun. That's going to be interesting. I think it definitely is an influence of the recent changes, like, to One Piece, where there is a lot of focus on animation. At times, I might say a little overcarried with what it wants to do, but I think the lessons that are being taken from that, in terms of just, like, focusing less on consistently being to the model, that helps a lot to just still give you, like, the code of each character. Like, I just finished the 3rd episode where at the end of it, Martin and Gojo are going to celebrate a birthday. That birthday is Martin's, like, favorite character from the eroge that she loves. And the scenes where she's just fucking raw dog in the body pillow that she has of this character, where it's just like, oh yeah, no, this is, like, a person. Like, the way that you can tell just, like, how passionate it is, or, like, God, I also think about the ending for the 1st episode where they're all in Halloween costumes, heading out for the night. They just do a straight up drone shot of, like, Tokyo. It's not even, like, animated. It just is, like, Shibuya. I figure, like, Shibuya or Shinjuku, just, like, on that night. And it's like, oh, that's really funny. But that whole scene where Gojo's having this, like, you know, complex around being a good friend of Marin, but then not knowing how to, like, get along with her other friends. Somebody kind of, like, asks, you know, hey, you're able to put on makeup? You're a guy, though. Isn't that, like, weird? Him being very anxious about this, and then other people piping up to be like, hey, man, my brother's a cosmetologist. He does this shit, too. Yeah, you know, that, like, guys can do makeup. And the guy's like, nah, you know what? Point taken. All of this happening while one of, like, Martin's other friends is singing, like, various songs. And at the end, she's like, Gojo and Marin, are you two dating? Like, it does a good job of capturing the environment of a karaoke room, how it would actually feel. And I think more things can do that as well. Like, I don't know. It's just so much fun, and I'm really excited to see more of this, and I'm really just glad that I think, like, Martin is such a great character. She is so much fun. She is such a joy to be around. The open, like, there's this part in the opening where the whole, like, I think the premise of it is sort of her, you know, in costume and stuff, but she's basically trying to look for Gojo the whole opening. And then the end does this, like, shot for shot where, like, she's in the same room with him, and she is like gobsmacked at him, and then cut to him, and he's just like smiling, like oblivious, and it's such a good dynamic where, you know, both of them have these anxieties and worries, but both of them are also aware enough to know that, like, having one another in their lives is the best thing going right now. And, you know, God bless Gojo for being able to handle the most out-of-pocket situations with her, and just, like, really wanting to show up for her as someone that not only, like, is amazed by her, but then also knows that, like, this is somebody that sees him for what, like, he is able to do.
Finally, positive heterosexuality.
That's what I'm saying. Well, hey, now.
Well.
Gojo and Marin, Skip and Loafer. I'm trying to think about... those are at least
Aharen.
two. That's at least... Yep, Aharen.
There's more. I'm just like,
My
yay,
love story?
good.
Oh my god.
We need more. We need less getting married to the girl I hate in my class.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about, or if you just want to do... If we have any questions or anything. It's up to you, John.
So we do have some questions, or more just opinions, I guess.
Okay, cool. Even better. I love those.
Okay, we do actually also have a question now that I'm looking. But, okay, let's go through it. If you want to send in a question or an opinion, you can go to podcast@gamesline.net on your email client of choice. Send an email there, and you'll sound like this. Gerg says, or Greg, Season 2 of Call of the Night started airing this season and has been blowing me away. If you didn't like the character dynamics in Dagashi Kashi, you probably won't like them here. But the premise is far more focused and every episode has been engaging and a treat to watch. The first season was a favorite in 2022, and I can gladly say I haven't been disappointed by the wait. So, yeah, Maverick, you were saying you were going to probably try to catch up with Call of the Night, and there you go. There's some, some push for that, for sure.
Yeah, I've only... I read a little bit of the light novel manga for this, so I'm not, like, super rushing to catch up on it or anything, but it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And here's one from Beryl. Hello, rail workers. This anime season has to be one of the best in a good while, with most of the shows I'm watching being pretty good. I agree. Not going to go through everything, but the new panty and stockings would surprise me most. I thought the show was doomed to fail, but it's done a good job modernizing itself and being a little more self-aware of its past issues. Garter belt, brief questioning his own love of Panty, etc. So question, is there any old show you'd like revived or continued in a similar way to rectify past mistakes? The best way to say it would be, a woke revival. But then besides that, I've been watching Dandadan, City, Summer Hikaru Died, and Sakamoto Day Season 2. Sincerely, Beryl. I mean, those are all good. But yeah, is there anything that you would like to see revived, but polished up a bit for modern sensibilities?
Kill la Kill movies, Kill la Kill movies, Kill la Kill movies, please. You can save it.
Yep.
You can save the series.
One. Especially with, if Trigger, like, patching up Panty and Stocking, then yeah.
Like, I think even just their second blush at anything, even when they were stupid, is, like, way better. Like, the Gurren Lagann stuff is so clean in those movies compared to the TV show. Just, like, way more elegant and thought out. And it's like, man, Panty and Stocking... My biggest fear with Panty and Stocking was genuinely that they were just going to go full back to South Park mode, and I don't think they did that. I think like Beryl said, and we've said before, it's like they're way more on the level, as it were.
Yeah.
So please do that to Kill la Kill, please.
I'm trying to think if there's anything specifically that I would like. Maverick, do you have anything?
I don't know if I need a full-on woke revival, but, like, if I think about something that could really do well in current demographics and just would have to be, I guess, like, more, like, mindful of how it chooses to, I guess, identify characters or on High School Host Club.
Okay. That's a good one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is that they just really fumbled being able to address, like, Haruhi's dad. But it's like, 20 years on from that, I think as a culture, feel a lot more accustomed to be like, yeah, no, my dad does drag. My dad is gender fluid, or my dad is bisexual and, plays with gender, but also just really loves me. And I think that can still come across. And then you also have every other dynamic, like, not like struggling to present itself. And I think even having a Haruhi that in like a current sensibility, be more willing to like mess around with her own interpretation of gender. That'd be cool. Redub it so that you take out Tamaki as Vic Mignogna and you just take out all the T slurs that they drop.
Sure. I don't know, because it's like, I'm trying to think. I don't really have anything off the top of my head that needs that kind of scrubbing up. Like, I mean, yeah, painting and stalking would have been my answer, and then they just did it. So,
Because I also kind of want to avoid something that is like, I don't know. I guess like I don't want to look at this as this idea of like pure censorship, because it's like, I don't know, if the fault of a show is that it had a lot of like TNA, I don't necessarily call that a fault. But if it doesn't know how to really like do much with it, then I think there could be a conversation.
Sure. I mean, yeah, like I think Rose's point specifically being like, because I like Kill la Kill, and I know that it has a lot of issues, but like also like, yeah, like if they did like a Kill la Kill like movie series or whatever, I wouldn't want them to just be like, oh yeah, now they're not in those outfits anymore. Like, no, like there's stuff about that show that they need to polish up a little bit in some aspects, and there's just also parts that would be like, hey, it would be cool if this fight was on the big screen, like I would want to just see this animated with a crazy big budget in a movie theater, because, like I want to see Ryuko and Satsuki do a cool sword fight. But, God, I can't, just do a new... edit the dubs for Cromartie High School and Kill Me Baby, where they have like one slur each. Just take those out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that's the biggest one. It's just like, can we redub a lot of these? We don't gotta redo. Just can we redub some of these?
Just literally, it's like one small edit. Like fucking Crow High is the first episode. So like, I remember showing it to friends like in high school and just being like, it's literally once in the first episode and they don't do it again. Like this dub is fucking fantastic. It's one time that they say the F slur. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't they say the R slur at some point, I think, or no, maybe I'm thinking something else.
It's Kill Me Baby. Sonya drops it to yeah.
I was gonna say, because the thing about the F slur, it's almost come back around for some angles, but
right. But also, I can't say it. John
no, you can't say it. But the Cromartie people might be able to say it. You've seen that show. I don't know.
Look, I mean, if they take it and roll with it, then maybe, if they're like, hey, we're just gonna...
If he slaps his ass after he says it, then it's fine.
Exactly, yeah, they gotta figure it out, but the way that it is now, no.
No, they should probably just ruin it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry my answer is boring, but I still...
No, it's good. Good one.
I mean, because I love those dubs, like, I mean, like, Crow High has a classic dub that people really, really love, and Girl Ninja's got a poo-poo too, so but But that's all I've got.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you, folks, for writing in. As always, appreciate it. All right, yeah. So, what do I need to say? We're watching a Tenna movie. That's our goal for next time, I believe. Pretty easy to just watch that. Go out there and do it. We're doing that. Maverick, again, looking forward to seeing whatever the hell nonsense you get up to at your anime convention.
We'll see. I have zero clue what that's going to look like.
It doesn't even have to be anything crazy. It can just be you come back and you can be like, well, I found the most insane booth ever. Or like, I just, I talked to some guy and learned a lot about society. Something like that. I don't know.
Right.
What's the current New York meme? You could get a bucket of popcorn and it has money in it. That could happen to you.
Oh God. My bit is that I'm gonna go around with bags of sour cream and onion potato chips, and they each have red envelopes with like $1 in them.
$1.
I give those out to the various interviews to be like, hey, my friend, I just wanted to make a friend.
Just wanted one good friend.
I just wanted one good friend. No, and then I'll, take a bribe by showing up in someone else's production for something for like 10 seconds. Dude, oh my God. It's going to be sad when we no longer have this level of corruption in our mayor's office, when we win the election. Mm-hmm. But man, there's something special about that. This in the same week as fucking, I worry if I'll get to heaven. They say at the bottom of the totem pole.
So keep out there, keep adding to the corruption while you still can.
I will make Anime NYC the most corrupt institution yet.
I'm looking forward to hearing Elvie back from the fake woods, as she said it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I don't know what she means, but we'll see. It's probably just like a chiller place, right? Just probably not quite in the city, somewhere else. But looking forward to that. As always, patreon.com/gamesline. $3 gets you this show 1 week early. Always appreciate anyone who can do what they can in these challenging times. Rampant corruption everywhere. But all right. Thank you both for joining me, and see everyone next time on another episode of Unlimited Railworks.